Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Week 31. Baby is 16.2 inches, getting longer still, and 3.3 pounds. She's putting on weight so quickly, and I think that that's awesome, and I can't wait to see her. Increasingly, my limbs have been falling asleep, like my legs and my hands. Like if I carry grocery bags, it doesn't take much for them to fall asleep. Like they don't even have to be very heavy, and I don't even have to be holding them for very long. My hands just fall asleep. You know, if I'm going back and forth to the bathroom a lot, which has been happening more and more, my legs fall asleep. Sometimes I literally will just park myself on the toilet because I know as soon as I get up I'm gonna have to go again, and I'll sit in there with like Netflix or something. I have my own private washroom, so it doesn't matter. But I'll just park myself in there and watch some videos and then too much time goes by and then I realize like my legs are completely asleep. Also, when I get my blood pressure taken, my hand falls asleep now, and that never used to happen before. I've been craving sweets at night. I've noticed that now. It's mostly like after dinner, like after I've had like a savory dinner, I want to have something sweet after, or if I stay up really late, the sweet cravings kind of intensify. Usually I just have like a bowl of sorbet, but last night I was actually craving like cake and candy and muffins. I don't have any, and I don't have extra money right now to go get any, so sometimes if it's just like sweets that I'm craving, usually just having a drink of juice helps, and then I'm not craving them as much. Since I've been out of school, I've been able to rest a lot more often, and that's been wonderful, and it's also been wonderful for my back. I have had little to no problems with my back unless I have been out all day wearing a bra, which if I'm out, I am wearing a bra. On Tuesday, it was cheap nights at the movie, so I went to see Ocean's 8 with a friend of mine, and we also did some other errands during the day, and it was a lot of fun. But my back was bothering me a lot in the theater. I needed to sort out the daycare situation. I will be looking for childcare for when I go back to school next spring, so probably like next May. The wait lists here are very long, sometimes like 2 years. There are some where it's like just a year, or some of them are less than a year, but it is pretty long, so I need to get on those wait lists like ASAP. I want to go check out some of the daycares, because some of the daycares that I have walked past in the city, just reading about them online wasn't enough. Like I got a different impression from what I read online versus like even just seeing the school and seeing the people that work there and like how they treat the kids. So I definitely do want to see them. Anyway, I called 6 daycares. I'm starting with 6. I'm gonna see how those turn out, and then I'll look for more if they don't work out. But anyway, so I called all 6 of them on Thursday. None of them answered. And then they all called me back Friday between 11 and 1. And I had an OB appointment on Thursday. Literally, like my phone was ringing like so much during, I had a couple appointments, but during both my appointments, my phone was ringing so much. And then afterwards, my phone kept ringing because now it was a game of phone tag. It was very stressful, but I did manage to organize some tours for next week. And then I just was so overwhelmed after all of that I slept for 3 hours, and I was really glad that I was able to do that and not have to like continue to get stuff done during the day. So that has been a real big plus of not being in school right now. At my OB appointment, it was kind of like follow-up from the diabetes test, and I don't have diabetes or gestational diabetes, so that is awesome. Everything else was normal. My next appointment, I get to have another ultrasound, so that's super exciting. It's a growth scan. I'm excited to see the weight she's put on. I'll show you my bump. This week when she moves, because she's gaining weight so quickly, when she does move, my stomach will like make waves. And I've actually got a few videos of my stomach like jiggling when she kicks it or moves. It's hilarious. I always laugh, and then when I laugh it makes her do it more. I had my last prenatal class this week. I've been enjoying going to those. I mean, they are kind of like later during the day, so I'm usually very tired when I go, but I will miss them. This week was on breastfeeding, and I got to learn more about breastfeeding. I did go to a couple talks at some of the baby shows about them, and we kind of talked a little bit about what I saw in the class, so that was super helpful. I definitely recommend prenatal classes, like if it's your first child, or even if you're having like your second or third but you've never gone. Like, I think it's beneficial just to know like up-to-date information. Like maybe there's something that you just didn't know about. Not everyone needs to go, but I think it's beneficial. Like, it can't hurt. So if you can find a way to go to them for free, or if they're really cheap, I think I would definitely recommend it, because I honestly feel 1,000 times more prepared. I didn't feel prepared at all before. Now I feel like confident, and if I'm kind of unsure about some things, I know where I can go to get the answers. Even in my classes, we discussed things that can go wrong. And so it was nice to know, like, okay, so if this happens, here's what you do. If this happens, here's what you do. It was good to know some solutions to issues or problems that might arise during birth or after birth. I recommend them. I was in line at a Tim Hortons getting a coffee, and there was a woman there, a random stranger, who looked at me and smiled, and I smiled back. And then when I got my coffee, she looked at me again and was like, "Any day now?" And I was like, I still have 2 more months left to go. And she was like, "Oh wow, is it 2?" And I'm like, girl, I'm just huge. Like, I mean, I don't know what it is about like seeing a woman with a giant belly that people just think you can strike up a conversation about their pregnancy. I mean, like, honestly, like, she didn't mean any harm or whatever, but it's like, it's kind of funny how like people just think your pregnancy is their business. It didn't really bother me because I know I looked like a beach whale. Like, I know I look big. When people comment like in the morning that I'm looking huge, I'm like, oh god, you should see me before I go to bed. I honestly like don't really mind it. Like, it's fine. I get to talk about my baby and I love talking about her. And then people always ask before like touching my belly too, and like strangers don't do it. It's usually like my classmates, which I don't mind at all. Like, I actually love it because like she's getting attention in the womb, and that's what I want. And hopefully she gets just as much attention outside of the womb. Like, I don't really take it personally, and it's not really about me. To me, it's like they're gushing over the baby, which I like. She deserves that. Like, she's a magical human being. Like, I can't wait. I've still been emotional, and I must say most of my emotional tendencies come from like animals. Like, I really want to cuddle animals, and like I just am really loving animals right now. I definitely get really emotional seeing moms and their newborns, or moms and their babies, or being pregnant, finding out they're pregnant, you know, like celebrating. Like, to me, that's just like, I remember when I found out I was pregnant, and it was like such an exciting time. So it like brings back those emotions. If you haven't seen that video, I will link it in the end screen of this video. Anyway, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.